Hey guys, Mark McKilley with Live Anabolic, and two of the questions that I get the most complaints about are how do I lose my gut and how do I lose my man boobs? All right, so today we're going to talk about man boobs, and I got three great exercises that are going to help you guys get rid of those ugly moobs. All right, so part of getting rid of these man boobs is actually building a big muscular strong chest, okay? So the bigger your chest muscles are, the smaller the fat is gonna look that's around your chest, even if you don't lose any fat, okay? So there's two primary exercises that we can do for building our chest. One is a fly movement, okay? Where we're going through this kind of basic range of motion, all right? And then the other one is a pressing movement. Those are the two basic ways you can work your chest. All right, so the best way I like for doing flies are with bands, okay? If we're working out from home, bands are a great way to do this. If you're at the gym, of course, then we're gonna be using the cable fly machines or some of the specifically designed machines at the gym for doing flies, okay? So two ways to do them at home. And let me show you the principle, okay, behind this. And I'm gonna give you a couple of different ways to do flies. Now, right now I have an anchor point in the door here. Now this is considered a mid anchor, all right? So I got top, mid, and bottom, all right? So this is, when we have it a mid anchor, it's working the biggest percentage of our chest, all right? Up high, all right, when the anchor's up high, then we're putting a little more emphasis on our lower pecs. If I put the anchor down at the bottom and bring the flies up, then I'm putting a little more emphasis on the top, all right? So with a mid anchor, we're hitting all the muscle fibers pretty much equally in the chest. Now let me show you a couple different things, guys. So here's the starting point. I got a nice wide base with my feet, okay? That's important. But see, I have to step away from the anchor, step away from the door, because I want some tension, okay? I want to have a preload here so that at the very beginning of the movement, I already have a lot of resistance, all right? Now as I bring the handles forward, now remember guys, look at my elbows. I got a bend in those elbows. There's a slight bend in my elbows, all right? And I try to keep that bend consistent throughout the full range of motion. All right, so this is just a real basic fly movement here, but let me show you the drawback to doing this motion, all right? So when I'm out here, okay, I feel a lot of resistance pulling my arms apart. But when I bring my hands together, see how the bands are pulling almost straight back, all right, along the line or along the axis of my arm, all right? So there's not a lot of tension trying to pull my hands apart right now. The bands are pulling straight back here, and I just got my arms, all right, in front of me here, so there's not a lot of stress. So I want you guys to do a caveat, okay, of this two-arm fly movement. I'm gonna show you how to do a one-arm fly, and I'm gonna explain the physics behind it and why I think it's gonna work better for you. All right, so as you can see, I've run the bands through the anchor and then back onto a single handle here, okay? So this is gonna be one arm flies. And I'm gonna show you the physics of why I think this actually puts more stress, more strain on your chest muscles. And of course, that's what we're shooting for, guys. All right, so one arm at a time, you're gonna have to have a real nice wide base, because as I pull this handle across my body, it's gonna try to torque me back towards the door, okay? So right now, I have a slight bend in my elbow, and I'm just gonna bring this handle in front of me and all the way across. And then control the band back and forth. Now, guys, man, you're gonna really feel your core get engaged right now. I mean, my abs are really flexing hard, but also my pec muscle here is feeling a ton of force throughout the entire range of motion, guys. So at peak contraction right here, I'm still getting a lot of force trying to pull my hand backwards, okay? So when I was doing a fly this way, when I got to full range of motion, there's almost no stress trying to pull my hand out. The stress, the force of the bands is pulling this way, not that way, all right? So when we do a one-armed and we stand to the side, the force of the band is pulling my hand this way. It's not pulling it back towards my shoulder. All right, so knock them out. I'm just gonna turn around. All right, Same thing, remember, I get a step away from the door so that there is some preload in the bands at the very beginning, so I can already feel the stress in my chest right now. And then pull this thing across my body. Now, another benefit to doing these one-arm flies, besides the fact that the physics, okay, and the forces are working in our advantage here as far as trying to pull my arm and my hand away, look at the range of motion here. So my hand doesn't stop right in front of my chest like it would if I was doing tandem or two arms. I can bring my hand across my chest, which means I get even more contraction, okay? So all the way across, and I do have a bend in my elbow, guys, but I'm not changing that bend at all. It's staying at the same angle throughout the full range of motion. So, whew, this is a tough exercise. Now, in addition to getting our chest, remember guys, this is a phenomenal core exercise. And I promise you're gonna understand what I'm talking about when you try this, okay? You may not be able to see it on camera while I'm doing it, but guys, when you're going through the full range of motion on both arms, you're gonna really feel your core tighten up. And the neat thing is, it's trying to twist your body, but when you go from one arm to the other, it's trying to twist your body in the opposite direction. All right, so you're gonna get your core worked from two different angles, which is really cool. All right, so what is exercise number 2 to help get rid of man boobs? Well guys, it's not just about building muscle, all right? We gotta burn fat, okay? So the less fat, the better. And everybody's genetics are different. Some people lose weight around their waist last, and it happens to be the first place they put it on. Now, some of us put it on up here in our chest first, and it's the last place you lose it. So there's no way to predict, all right, how you're gonna be affected, but it's gonna affect you the same way over and over and over. As you gain weight and lose weight, you're typically gonna put it on and take it off in the same places, all right? But from man to man, it's gonna be different. So exercise number 2 is gonna be a cardio-based exercise. Now, guys, this is one of my favorite cardio exercises because for all you guys out there with bad knees, this puts zero stress on your knees. But not only does it get you really out of breath and get that heart rate up and get you breathing hard, but it's a fantastic core exercise. So mountain climbers are great, but this is mountain climbers with a twist, no pun intended. I'm literally going to be doing a twist. So guys, a normal mountain climber, you start in the push-up position, right? And I'm going to do them slow so you can bring them. I'm going to do them slow at first, okay? So this is a real slow mountain climber, and then when you get a little better, guys, you can start bouncing on your toes, and you can really crank up the speed here, okay? You can do mountain climbers really, really fast, all right? Get your heart rate up, all right? Then let's do it with a twist, right? So this time I'm going to start off slow, okay? But I'm going to bring my knee to the offside hand, hence the twist, all right? So I'm doing them slow here. But I can speed it up too. All right, so mountain climbers are affecting our cardiovascular system. It's getting our heart rate up. It's causing us to burn more calories, but it's also, okay, because you're in a push-up position, you're also working your shoulders, your chest, your triceps, and basically all of your core. So guys, fantastic exercise. And really, if you got bad back, bad knees, bad ankles, all right, all of you guys with those problems should be able to do mountain climbers without any problem. And guys, it's also a great exercise to warm up before you start any workout, because like I said, man, it gets so many different muscles involved and your heart at the same time. It really is kind of a fantastic all-in-one exercise. Okay, so while I'm thinking about it and talking about losing fat and doing the cardio and all that kind of stuff, nutrition is just as important as all these exercises we're doing. And that's why I want to talk about it real quick before I forget. So guys, it's not just eating in a caloric deficit every day that's really important, because that's you know, a really important way to drop the fat. It's also what you're eating, and it's also what you're not eating. All right. So as we start to cut our calories down, guys, a lot of y'all, including me, are probably not getting all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that we need in just our normal diet, right? We're eating less food, so it's kind of harder to get all the good stuff in our body that we should be. And I like most vegetables, okay? I like most fruits and stuff like that, so it's not real hard for me. I like to eat them, but I'm lazy, all right? I'm lazy. I don't like going to buy them at the grocery store. I run out. I don't want to go back and refill. I don't want to cook them necessarily. I found some easy, relatively easy ways, but it's still kind of hard to get all the essential vitamins and minerals and nutrients in our body. And so, you know, because I'm lazy, I'm always looking for cheap, easy ways around all this. And several years ago, some new supplements came out onto the market, and they're generically called greens powders. All right, so it's in a little bottle, and it's a powder. All right, but basically it's a bunch of vegetables and fruits along with some other nutrients, all right, and some vitamins and minerals that are all kind of combined basically. And it's super dense, super concentrated. You just mix it with water, and you can basically end up getting your daily allowance of all the vegetables and fruits and all those other kind of good things that you need to be getting into your body. But if you're like me, you're lazy, you don't want to spend the time, you know, doing it. So anyway, at least give it a try. All these different supplements work great for some people. They work okay for some guys, and then some guys, they don't really, you know, see any benefit out of it. So you never know until you try it. But if you guys are having a hard time kind of with your daily intake of all the good stuff that you need to be feeding your body and not overeating, I highly recommend you give these Testo Greens a try. I mean, it's some really good high quality stuff that we put together, and it tastes pretty damn good. You're gonna be surprised, all right? So you can mix it. I typically just mix it with water, all right? But guys, it takes, I don't know, 30 seconds. So do that and see how it works with you, okay? And if you're one of the guys that really just goes crazy and loves this stuff, you're gonna see some fantastic results over the course of just a few weeks, all right? Okay, I've got that out of the way because I always am worried about nutrition and calories and losing fat when it comes to getting rid of those man boobs. So let me show you the last exercise today. And remember, we started off with the flies and the bands. Remember, you don't have to start with bands, all right? I'm just giving you 3 great exercises that you can do to help get rid of those man boobs. There's no specific order you need to do them in. Matter of fact, a great way to create your own little workout, because this is not a workout program per se. These are just different exercises and some nutritional information. I would do these mountain climbers with a twist in between sets of these other exercises, these other chest exercises. So do a set or 2 of chest, then get down and knock out 20 mountain climbers. Do another couple of sets of a different chest exercise that I'm about to show you. Get down and knock out 20 mountain climbers. That's a great way to create your own little custom workout, all right? Just targeting chest and trying to burn off that fat. All right, so the third exercise, y'all gonna love this exercise. You take a pillow off your couch, a big bolster, big fat, okay? And then you just lay down on it and take a nap. It's great. Just kidding. The reason I have this pillow down here is to get my back up off the ground several inches, okay? Because this last exercise, we're gonna be using some dumbbells here, and I'm gonna be doing alternating chest presses. Now, before I pick up the dumbbells and show you how to do them, this is the position I want you to get in. So basically just your shoulders, okay? Your back is on the pillow. Your butt can be down on the ground, guys, all right? And the reason I'm using a pillow as opposed to just laying on the ground is because when I go through my range of motion, I can get my elbows down behind my back several inches. If my back was on the ground, my elbows would bottom out, okay? You know, once I'm on the same plane as my shoulder blades. But remember, range of motion is really good. So the more range of motion, the more muscle fibers we engage, all right? So I'm gonna take these dumbbells, get them into a starting position, and I'm gonna start at the top, okay? And I'm gonna do one arm at a time, and I'm gonna do alternating, all right? So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Now, guys, you can do them simultaneously, okay? And that is also working your chest fantastic here, all right? But when we alternate, I'm gonna put these down real quick and just show you with my hands. When we're alternating, all right, from side to side, I'm still engaging my chest muscle on my off arm. Even though the dumbbell is up, the chest, your pecs are still flexed. They still have to engage. Otherwise, your arm would want to drop back down like this, all right? So, guys, really great exercise to target our chest. And because we're doing them flat, once again, we're not really focusing on the upper chest or the lower chest. We're engaging all the pec muscles, okay? So upper, lower, they're all being engaged and firing simultaneously when you're doing these weights. Now, guys, I'm using a real lightweight here, okay? This is not hard for me to do because I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. But you guys at home, I want you to push yourself hard, okay? So if you can knock out 10 or 15 and you're not really starting to fatigue that muscle, if you're not getting close to failure, then either you don't have heavy enough dumbbells or you're not doing enough reps. All right, and there's a couple of things I want you to change. All right, so some of you guys just won't have heavy enough dumbbells to fatigue your chest in only 12 to 15 reps. So let me show you a couple of things I want you to do, because it's not just about doing the exercise that helps build a chest and get rid of those man boobs. It's how you do it, all right? And so few men, especially as older guys, push ourselves hard enough, okay? So if you're a total beginner, you don't have to kill yourself, guys. You don't have to go to failure. But for you guys that are intermediate and above, you all need to be doing sets close to failure, all right? So let's say this weight isn't heavy enough to get to failure by 12 to 15 reps, all right? So either you need to really slow down the tempo, guys, much slower than you normally would. And what happens is time under tension is increasing. So the amount of time that my muscle fibers are being forced to contract, i.e. in tension, all right, the more fatigued they're gonna get. Even though the weight is relatively light, I'm still having to engage my chest for a really long time. And that's gonna make you fatigue at only 12 to 15 reps, all right? Whereas if I was cranking these out kind of at a normal speed, I would get to 15 and I wouldn't be tired, okay? So just significantly slow down the tempo, and that way, you guys, if you don't have a heavy enough weight, that way you will really start to feel your chest burn once you get to around that 12th to 15th rep. So push yourselves hard. I want you guys to push yourself out of your comfort zone. That is key. All right, guys, so getting a big chest and getting rid of those man boobs isn't gonna happen overnight. All right, that's because you didn't form those man boobs overnight, all right? It's gonna take a while, but you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent with these exercises that I'm showing you. You have to be consistent with your nutrition and eating in a caloric deficit. You need to be consistent with eating healthy and trying supplements if it makes sense for you, okay? And then finally, guys, you gotta push yourself, all right? So don't just go through these workouts half speed, okay? If you're not sore, if your chest doesn't feel fatigued, if you're not out of breath, then you're not giving it 100%, all right? We are not over the hill. I'm 58 years old, all right? I don't want to work out like I'm an 88-year-old man, okay? I'm not there yet, all right? So you can train your body, and over a period of just a few weeks and months, you're going to be amazed at how much stronger you get, how much more endurance you have, and how much weight you start shedding off, okay? The more weight you shed, the more fat you drop, the better that chest is going to be, and the smaller those man boobs are going to be. So guys, you got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.